You're standing in the grocery aisle, holding two versions of the same thing. One's cheaper, but not by much. You do the math anyway. In your head, out loud, under your breath. You switch brands, then switch back. Then check your bank app, like it might have changed in the last 30 seconds. The fluorescent lights hum. Someone's cart squeaks behind you. And for a second, you wonder if I'm working full time. Why does this still feel this tight? Because something quietly changed, and your job might already be worth less than you think. It's not just the grocery aisle. It's the group chat where you say, I'm busy, instead of, I can't afford that place. It's the moment your car makes a weird noise and your chest tightens before you even open the hood. It's watching someone younger than you talk about making money online like it's normal, and you're still waiting for your next annual raise. Sound familiar? You probably know someone who's been stable for years but somehow never feels ahead. Rent creeps up. Subscriptions stack quietly. Your paycheck lands and disappears like it's passing through you. Think about the last time you tried to calculate how long you could go without income. Not comfortably, not confidently, just realistically. This is what psychologists call loss aversion, the tendency to feel losses more intensely than gains, which is why every small increase in cost feels heavier than your raises ever feel good. And the worst part? It doesn't feel like something you can fix, because you're doing what you're supposed to do, working, showing up, staying consistent. So why does it feel like pushing a boulder uphill and it's slowly rolling back anyway? Most people will tell you the answer is simple. Work harder, ask for a raise, maybe switch jobs every 2 years, stack certifications, grind it out. That used to work. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Your effort isn't what's being repriced. Your role is. And if you don't understand that difference, you'll keep pushing harder on something that's quietly losing value underneath you. The real shift is smaller than you think and way more dangerous because it's already happening while you're busy working. Your job doesn't have a fixed value. It has a market price. And that price is being rewritten faster than most people realize. According to data from the World Economic Forum, 44% of core skills required for jobs are expected to change by 2027, not slowly, not gradually, almost half in just a few years. Now picture your actual day, the emails you send, the reports you build, the tasks you repeat without thinking. You've gotten efficient, faster, cleaner, reliable, and that's exactly the problem. Because efficiency is what automation replaces first. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just low-level jobs being affected. It's tasks. Specific, repeatable tasks inside high-paying roles. Take someone like Daniel, a 34-year-old financial analyst in Chicago, always in crisp shirts, meticulous spreadsheets, making $92,400 a year. His job used to involve hours of data cleaning and modeling. Today, tools powered by OpenAI can do chunks of that in minutes. Not perfectly, but close enough that companies need fewer Daniels. Now compare him to someone like Carla, a freelance product strategist with messy, curly hair and a habit of talking too fast. She doesn't just analyze data, she interprets it. She asks better questions. She connects dots across teams. Her income jumped from $68,200 to $124,650 in 3 years. Same era, same economy, completely different outcomes. And that gap is widening. According to research from McKinsey & Company, up to 29% of work activities across industries could be automated by 2030, not entire jobs. Activities. Your job is a bundle of tasks. Some are valuable, some are replaceable, some are invisible, and this is where things get really practical. Think about your last workday. Not the title, not the description, the actual actions. What did you do? You answered emails. You updated something. You followed a process. You fixed a mistake. You attended a meeting that probably could have been shorter. Now ask yourself, which of those would a company pay less for if they had a cheaper alternative? That's your real salary trajectory. Here's what actually happens. When companies adopt new tools, they don't fire everyone at once. They quietly reduce hiring. They expect more output from fewer people. They flatten teams. So you don't lose your job immediately. You just stop gaining leverage. Federal Reserve data shows wage growth for mid-skill roles has slowed to 2.7% annually over the past 5 years, while top-tier specialized roles have seen increases closer to 6.4%. Read that again. The gap isn't about working harder. It's about being harder to replace. But here's something most people completely miss. The The market doesn't reward effort, it rewards scarcity. This is what economists call supply-demand imbalance. When too many people can do the same thing, the price drops. And right now, AI is increasing the supply of competence. Think about that. Tasks that used to require training now require prompts. Skills that took years now take weeks. You're not competing with just people anymore. You're competing with tools that make average performance easier to produce, which means average gets cheaper. Now here's the part that will blow your mind. The safest jobs aren't the most technical, they're the most integrated. Jobs where you combine skills in ways that are hard to replicate. Communication plus analysis, strategy plus execution, technical knowledge plus human judgment. Because tools can do parts, but they struggle with context. And this is where things get really practical. If your role is mostly execution, your value trends down. If your role involves deciding what to execute and why, your value trends up. Think about someone in your life who always seems in demand. They're not necessarily the smartest, but they're the one people go to when things are unclear. That's not an accident. That's positioning. But here's the part nobody talks about. The shift feels unfair because you did everything right. You followed the path, you built the skills, you stayed consistent, and still, the ground moved. I'll be honest, this took me a while to accept. The idea that doing your job well isn't enough anymore feels wrong. Like the rules changed mid-game, but they did, and ignoring that doesn't protect you. It just delays the realization. You might be thinking, okay, but I can't just reinvent my career overnight. I have bills, responsibilities, real constraints. That's fair. You don't need to flip your life. You need to shift your direction. Start small. Notice which parts of your job require judgment, not just execution. Lean into those. Volunteer for ambiguity instead of avoiding it. Learn one adjacent skill that changes how your work connects to others. Not 10 skills. Not a full rebrand. Just one move that makes you slightly harder to replace. Because even a small shift compounds over time. And here's the deeper truth most people never say out loud. Your job isn't your income stream. It's your training ground. The paycheck is temporary. The leverage you build is what lasts. If you treat your job like a fixed identity, you'll defend it as it loses value. If you treat it like a platform, you'll evolve with it as the market changes. That's the real game. You're not trying to protect what you do today. You're trying to increase what you can do tomorrow. And the people who understand this early don't look like they're working harder. They just look like they're moving differently. They ask better questions. They position themselves closer to decisions. They build skills that stack instead of repeat. The boulder doesn't disappear, but they stop pushing it uphill in the same place. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. You're not someone waiting for the market to reward you anymore. You're someone who understands how value moves and quietly moves with it.